Moving from the US to Africa, somewhere I had never even been before, and starting a new business is significant. Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you all so much for joining me today. My name is Jillian. I am 31 years old. I'm from the US. And in March of 2021, I moved to Tanzania with my 1-year-old son, Ja. People always ask me, why did you choose Africa? And the reason that I chose Africa, my discipline is in Pan-African Studies from California State University, Los Angeles. That major meant everything to me. I'll just say that Africa was somewhere that I always wanted to be. And, I studied it. So I was just like, now it's time to see it. Now it's time to apply what you learned to your experience. And I feel like COVID and the world shutting down allowed for that opportunity. And Tanzania was one of the few countries that stayed open during the pandemic and allowed foreigners to come into the country. So I'm here, and again, I opened up a business, and that's what I wanted to discuss today. So I hope you see this entire video through. I hope everyone learned something. If you have any questions, don't forget to comment and don't forget to subscribe. I actually got a house with a storefront already attached to it. That really helped me. The shop is fairly small, right? Like, it has its basics. We sell Pampers, soap, soda, water, juice, rice, beans, flour, cooking oil, toothpaste, toothbrushes, pads, phone data, washing powder, chips, candy, salt. And some of these items I didn't even start off with. I started with very few items. Over time, people in the neighborhood would ask for certain items, and that's how we really grew our inventory. From what I calculated, I spent about $700 to get the store up and running. I just don't want people to get here and be like, she told me it was going to cost this much, and your experience, because it's different than mine, be a little bit more. Or, you can make a mistake, go through the wrong people, if you don't know the language, if you're having a middleman. Luckily, I have someone that's very trustworthy. The shop makes fairly good profit. I could cover a couple of bills. I could probably cover, and I'm estimating right now, I could probably cover my internet bill, my phone bill, and maybe some electricity. If you know the language, you can run the business yourself. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm learning the language. I actually shut the business down for a minute until honestly, I'm kind of making an excuse. I could probably use that as a learning tool, but really, me just being here and have gained so much experience. Like, sometimes you do need to be still and map things out to make sure you're making the right moves. So yeah, that is my first business here on the continent. I know it's not much in comparison to what we dream of, our first project or buying land. We have all these dreams when we come to the continent, but everything is a process, and what might be small to you could mean so much for your community here. You just bringing in necessities closer to them where they don't have to go as far for a cheap price. You know what I'm saying? That experience alone is priceless to be able to do something like that. And even for myself, sometimes I run out of rice. I run out of washing powder, and every time I go to my business, I pay. I put my money back into my business. So I'm never just taking because it's there. Because we really need those products. We update our inventory at least once a week. It could be twice, but I try to balance out how much money I'm putting into the business. If you're doing research right now on places you might be considering moving to, starting a business, consider the language that they speak there. Even if they do speak English, try to learn the native tongue. I'm sure that's going to help you business wise and just your overall experience. It'll help it be more authentic. Like, no, I'm not just visiting. I'm here because I'm here because I want to be here. I need to be here. And it's just a sign of respect, really. I'm going to leave y'all with that. I think I covered pretty much everything that I wanted to cover in this video. Yeah, just don't be afraid to start small. It's okay. In the US, it would be so many laws. We would have to go through so much if we wanted to put a business like the one I showed you in front of our house and actually sell the products that we sell. They would give you hell to be able to do something like that. So the fact that I'm able to do that where I live, like, there's freedom in that, to be able to make money where you live at, right? And to be actually covering debt with it, like you're covering your bills with it. And here in Tanzania, you don't get, so in the US, they send you your electricity bill. You run it up first, right? Whereas here in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam at least, it's prepaid. We have to start thinking about that. When you buy a house here, there's no mortgage, none of that, no loans you're paying. At least I'm just talking about for Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. I really don't know other places. I'm assuming it's the same thing. So yeah, money up front. So it's really okay to start small here, because you want to get to know the area. You want to make sure you somewhere you actually want to be, right? So usually your lease will be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Honestly, it could be whatever you negotiate with the owner of the house or property. You're not stuck in no type of bind. We want to be like, oh, I want to buy a house because we hear it's cheaper here, but it really is not really that cheaper, because in America you can get a loan to cover a $400,000 house, whereas here there'd be a $400,000 house off the water. You got to pay that money up front to buy it. So consider renting. Nothing's wrong with renting. Yeah, and nothing's wrong with trying to find a property where you can gain profit from. You could start a business if there's not a store like the one that I have. If there's somewhere nearby where you can open up a store, or possibly have some type of booth at your house. Or you really don't even need that. Like, it's Africa. You don't need a lot of things that we believe we need in the US. So thank y'all for joining. Please comment and feel free to ask me any questions below.